your connection in Southern Oregon and Northern California. This is News 10 at 5.
Good evening, I'm Trish Close.
I'm Rick Tillery, thanks for joining us. There is a major announcement in the Carmen Poorman case. We'll have more on that in just a few minutes. But first, wildfires continue to grow in Southern Oregon.
4 fires covering more than 26,000 acres right now in Southern Oregon. Fires are putting out so much smoke, you can see it from space. The largest, the Douglas complex, it's forced dozens of people from their homes and is testing the stamina of hundreds of firefighters. News 10's Jessica DeNova has more on that fire in tonight's top story at 5.
More than 21,000 acres large and only 5% contained. A team of nearly 1,300 people have a lot of work ahead of them. Firefighters need to be ready for whatever comes their way on the fire line of the Douglas complex.
There's always a lot of tricky situations out on the fire line. You never deal with the exact same thing twice, so that's tricky in and of itself.
Charles Watkins, here from Eugene to fight the flames, says the recent weather inversion has been helpful.
It helps keep the fire a little bit less active, for sure. And when that lifts is when you definitely have to be heads up for the fire behavior to change and become more active and pick up.
But has also kept visibility low and help from the air grounded, something Watkins says he is trained not to rely on.
When they're around, they're the biggest help in the world. And unfortunately, with this inversion, although it keeps the fire activity a little bit less active, it definitely makes it a lot harder for the aircraft to help support us.
Flames and smoke, not the only things Watkins says fire crews run into.
I actually saw the sheriff pulling out a bunch of half-burnt marijuana plants.
Watkins says whether you're fighting the flames, enforcing the law, or telling the story of those who are, you're always at risk while on the fire line.
Right where you're standing right here actually is a prime place for things to come down this hill, and I wouldn't suggest you all hanging out here too long.
Covering your news in Glendale, Jessica DeNova, News 10.
Here's a look at the Douglas complex fire by the numbers. At this point, it's holding steady at 21,000 acres. 435 structures are threatened. At least 1 outbuilding has burned. Railroad lines are also in this fire's path. Right now, nearly 1,300 people are working around the clock to contain this fire.